Good morning, Hollywood. It's David Poland with David Reads the Trades. This is episode 183 of David Reads the Trades on this fine March 11th, 2025. Um, yes, somehow we got to March 11th, 2025. Yes, it's a miracle. Seems like a miracle. Doesn't it seem like a miracle to you? No, it doesn't seem like a miracle to you. Anyway, um, quick look at before we start, a quick look at the stock market, which is doing badly again today. However, Netflix is back up again. Go figure. Apparently, it dipped down to 800 and something, but it's now back up to 906, 907. It actually just went up another dollar. Meanwhile, Disney's down under 100. Warner Brothers is down. Paramount's down. But somehow, Netflix is up 40 points, $40. I don't know why. And they've taken a giant dip in the last week or two because of Mr. Trump, and it is what it is. But that's where they are today. So that's the wackiness. Also, getting a little ahead of the trades. I think I predicted last week as we were heading into the weekend of Mickey 17 opening that the number would be somewhat disappointing and that we were going to get a lot of stories this week about how terrible things are at Warner Brothers and how expensive the movies are. Um, and we're having them. Uh, the most recent is Richard Rushfield from The Ankler saying, stop it. Saying basically, the thing I'm mostly concerned about is not how much money is being given to auteurs to make films at Warner Brothers. That is not his biggest concern. Flip side last night was Kim Masters, now at Puck, writing a completely superfluous piece about this whole story yet again. We've now gotten this over and over and over again. I think it started with about a year ago, even with maybe it was a year, maybe not quite a year, but the Wall Street Journal with Joe Flint writing a piece about the expensive movies that were coming. None of this is a surprise. None of this is new. Kim added the twist of somebody without a name anonymously saying, "Oh, they're already getting fired," which I think is, of course, were it to be true, and I do not think it is, would be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard, because this year is going to be the proof in the pudding of their. This is really the beginning of their thing. Now, she talks about them taking responsibility for Joker, and I do think they did, as many new studio executives in new places tend to do, say this thing that's going to be a big hit on the slate that somebody else really put together. I'm going to take credit for it because I'm here, which actually was kind of the story with Barbie with them, which they really didn't do much about, but did take some credit for when it opened. It was right when they came in on board. Likewise, Joker, not their baby. They didn't stop it. They could have stopped it. This is the thing everybody says. They could have stopped it, or they could have made Todd actually, test it with an audience. That's malfeasance. They shouldn't have never done. They should never have let it pass without doing a test screening. Of course, the same thing was true of the first Joker movie, which made over $1 billion and was a huge success and led everybody to Joker 2, the musical, which I don't think was a failure because it was a musical. I think it was a failure for other reasons, but it didn't give people what they were expecting or wanting. But nonetheless, Kim's piece is kind of another, like, talk to a bunch of people who say fuck them. Everybody wants the job. That's the thing. That's the joke of it is everybody knows better. Everybody knows everything. The truth is, as much as I loved the great late one, I don't think nobody knows anything. I do think people have some sense of things in reality, but you never know for sure. You never know anything about anything until it actually happens. Nobody. There are movies every year that people think are going to be big hits that aren't, and there are movies that people think are going to be nothing and turn out to be big hits. So it works every way, and that's the way it is. But we probably should stop writing about the end of MGM before MGM starts. Really, the Bong Joon-ho movie, which again was not put together on their watch, could have been stopped, but it wasn't. But really, their year is really beginning, and all these movies that are a little scary, like the very expensive Paul Thomas Anderson movie, the very expensive Alejandro Inarritu movie, which is shooting still in London, and many others, where you had Maggie Gyllenhaal movie and how much money, how expensive that movie was, given that not only is she a relatively new director, but there's a Guillermo Frankenstein coming as well this year. There are all kinds of reasons to be nervous, and I don't mind the reality of that. But um, this pile-on when one movie flops expectedly, nobody really expected Mickey 17 to do any better than it's doing. In reality, nobody with any knowledge of what was going on with this movie really expected much of it financially. Some people love it. It's got some critics who are really behind it, but it was always a problem movie from pretty early on. So um, yeah, it's just the pile-on continues. So I think there was a story in the trades, or at least two. I think two of the trades. There's just been endless stories now about Warner Brothers, because there's nothing to write about. I've gone now 6 minutes talking about this, so let's get to the trades where there's no news. Okay, no news, no news. Thank you very much. There was a review of a movie from South by. Again, South by is a Penske-owned festival. So they're promoting the hell out of it in the Penske trades. And I will not be following in suit. There's a theater story about Othello doing a record business for Broadway, which was inevitable that it would be sold out and moving forward. Sadly, Tony Etz from CAA passed away, 64, and Cineworld's founder Steve Weiner passed away at 73. So we have rest in peace. Thank you very much. Sorry you're gone. Okay. With the same effing story about the HBO comedy chief at the top of deadlines you need to read. Let's see. Do we have anything else here? Alex Jaffe is joining Miramax as the president of television, though who knows what that actually means. Ice Cube has changed agencies. This is all very important stuff. Hacks has a trailer for the next season, which starts next month, almost exactly a month from now, doing the story that we pretty much knew was coming from the end of last season. And that's everything in Deadline. This movie Variety. Snow White premiere scaled back. Studio won't be rolling out the robust red carpet as usual. Oh, God. An afternoon festivities will have a pre-party at the El Cap with the stars. However, the red carpet will not include the dozens of media outlets usually invited by Disney to interview cast and creatives at the premiere. We're limited to photographers and house crew. In other words, they don't want Rachel Ziegler talking. They don't want her opening her mouth anymore. Not terribly complicated. Not really shocking. And it's just another, and then they go through the lineage of all the issues with this movie. Disney would just like you to please stop asking questions and see whether we'll see the movie actually this week, I think, and see whether we like it or not. And that's going to be that. But life goes on. The premiere apparently is Saturday, so it's an afternoon premiere. But you know what? It's unusual for Disney to do a Saturday afternoon premiere. It's not. Warner Brothers has been doing it for years with family movies. And guess what Snow White actually is? In spite of all of this, a family movie. Oh my God. How could they do a Saturday premiere of a family movie? Oh, well, because it's not that unusual. Yes, wanting Rachel Ziegler to not be talking to you, not talking to the media, makes sense. But, the media asks a lot of stupid questions, particularly the red carpet media. They're more and more gossip-oriented, and there's gossip around this movie. So what's the point of having a bunch of not very interested in journalism journalists? They're not journalists even. They're just red carpet reporters who basically ask, what did you really, do you think of the dwarves or a thing? Are you worried about the dwarves? Or people think, oh, we can't call them, are we calling them dwarves? Oh, they're little people. We're going to call them little people. That's going to be what the red carpet would be about. And who the hell needs that, really? I don't need it. And if they want to be called little people, I'm fine with that. If they want to be called dwarf, I'm fine with that. Whatever the hell they want, if they want to be called, monkalakas, go for it. I don't care. They exist. They're people in the world, and they should be loved and respected like everybody else. Get that? It's crazy. I know. It's so edgy to suggest that people be decent to one another. Um, Variety promotes Joe Otterson to television news editor. Congratulations, Joe. Don't know what it means exactly, but congratulations. I guess it's just your new contract. Let's see. Amy Poehler in the dressing room with Meryl Streep on Saturday Night Live 50. We're still talking about that. Mm-hmm. And what else is this? Full Frames Documentary Film Festival unveils lineup including 16 Sundance docs. It's a small world after all. And that's everything that's in Variety. Moving on to Hollywood Reporter, their lead story is Substack surging past 5 million paid subscriptions thanks to video and Trump. The addition, apparently, of Jim Acosta, Joy Reid, and Mehdi Hassan, who are TV personalities, have blown things up a bit. And I got to say, I'm not feeling it. I have plenty of subscriptions, but I don't. I haven't had some sort of surge in paid subscriptions. But then again, I kind of keep the door a little too wide open for my own good, because I actually want to communicate things to people. Crazy. I know it's crazy. What else we got? Steve Buscemi will be with Sam Rockwell in the new Martin McDonagh movie. Or is it McDonough? McDonough? I always call him McDonough, but it may be McDonough. Anything else we need to tell you? Oh, yeah. Apparently, Scarlett Johansson is still not on Instagram. That's news. She's decided not to do Instagram. Apparently, she did a story for InStyle, and they asked her about Instagram, and she said, yeah, they keep on asking me to do it, and I'm not doing social media. Thank God. That's an important story that we're covering that. There'll be a doc about Stan Lee and his final years. That's I think we've known about that for a while, actually. Maybe it's another Stan Lee documentary that I'm thinking about. There's also a anyway. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, looking for news. Looking for news. You know how it is with this. Looking for news. Pretty much the same old news is right here. Again, the Hacks premiere. A thing about Severance Star, about the opening of Mickey 17. There you go. Important stuff. You haven't seen all of Lily Reinhart just yet. Is she doing a nude scene or something? I don't know. IndieWire, the fourth of the fine Penske trades, leads with a Black Bag review. So David Ehrlich's reviewing Black Bag, a movie that I really, really, really wish was better. I think it's fine. I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's not quite the magic that it should be. It's trying really hard. They do feature in their latest news Julia Fox crying over Pedro Almodovar's movie All About My Mother in the Criterion Closet. Now, I gotta say, I'm offended by Julia Fox being invited into the Criterion Closet. Julia Fox. She made a movie that was pretty good a few years ago, but she's basically been a woman who shows her boobs through all kinds of different outfits and her ass. That's her primary business for the last number of years after, hooking up with, was it Puff Daddy, I think? Yeah. What is she doing in the Criterion Closet? Her publicist got her in the Criterion Closet, and Criterion went along with it. And now, for some reason, IndieWire is following the story because who gives an F word? I mean, Julia Fox whether she might have been a good actress, she might have not ever been a good actress, but what we do know is that the path she has chosen is social media influencer, mostly taking her clothes off and coming up with a new outfit to show off her body every single day. Do I need her in the Criterion Closet? Do I care what her favorite films are? I do not. I do not. I do not. Nothing against Julia Fox. She may be a decent human being underneath of all of this, but in the meantime, she's a page 3 girl 365 days a year as far as I'm concerned at this point. That's all she's become. So, there's a trailer, I think it's exclusive, from a movie about Maria Schneider's experience with Last Tango in Paris. The movie came out last year at Cannes, and you've heard so much about it that now there's a trailer, which tells you everything you need to know. Pretty sure. How 45 cinematographers shot their festival features. I don't know what the hell that's about. That seems like a feature to me. And that's it. There's no news. That's all the news there isn't. I'm going to go. Have yourself a lovely Tuesday afternoon. And I will see you again tomorrow with more call it light, I think, probably. Getting my hair cut this afternoon. So you can see my hair again. It's like a mess. Oh, it's a mess. Anyway, have yourself a good afternoon. Take care. Thanks for listening.